We can't do it alone, we do it together. Got to believe in yourselves, guys. We're better. We proved it the first time. We got to prove it tomorrow. You guys can do it. If you believe in yourself.
In the dictionary, if they had the word coach, they need to put Lance Tucker's picture right there, because I think he epitomizes what every coach should strive for.
Coach Tucker is a living example of what he teaches. So he teaches discipline, he teaches consistency, he teaches that drive to be a winner.
It was his ability not only to talk the talk, but to walk the walk. That he was an example of what he preached.
You know, all of us took pride in playing basketball and believed in Brookline basketball because he sold us on, you know, made us believe that we worked harder than everybody else.
You know, his personality, his influence, and his just restoration of confidence that he has in these players rubs off, and I think he's a very personable person.
I've excelled as a person and as a basketball player because of him. I mean, the way he brings the game and discipline and hard work to the court is unbelievable. I mean, he's just an incredible basketball mentor. Just his knowledge of the game is ridiculous.
In terms of just on-the-spot coaches, I don't think I've ever played for anyone in any sport who was just, you know, as on the spot, as emotional and as intense as Coach Tucker was.
Because he gets the best out of his players, I think they realize that after the fact. And they realize that, wow, he did a lot for me, so I want to do a lot for him. And that's what I think a lot of people come back for, is to help him out. Not so much Brookline basketball, but a lot of it's for Lance Tucker.
You know, when someone works so hard and have meant so much to so many people, you know, we all tend to need to come back and get a little bit more of that. You know, we're probably going to all at one time or other end up over at an Emmanuel game, you know, sitting in the back, you know, go Lance. Because, you know, now Emmanuel College becomes part of Brookline High School, strange as that might sound.
It's a dynasty. I mean, that's just the way it is. They know it's hard work, and, I mean, you just want to be a part of it. And if you don't want to be a part of it, you're part of it anyway. So, I mean, just coming back and seeing what he's doing now and what you did, comparing it, and, I mean, you want to be a part of that.
I mean, that's what tradition is all about. I mean, you never saw Scott play. You never saw Fred Hill play. But there's this string that runs through. He won't be there next year, but I guarantee you there'll still be some old grads who'll come back to support the new coach, to support the program, because the program's going to continue. And even the players, I mean, the players this year don't know it yet, but they are a part of that history too. And 5 years from now, they will be seen as the old folks coming back.
What we've tried to do at Brookline, we're trying to create a family atmosphere. And if someone would watch from outside and not know what's going on, they would think that's not the case. But between the lines, we always preach, look, we're a family. You're not just playing for yourselves. You're not just playing for, you know, this game or this season or your teammates here. You're playing for the former Brookline players, and you're playing for the junior varsity guys coming up and the freshman guys, you know. And I try to instill in them they are setting a positive example like the other teams in the past have. And it's basically, hey, you are representing the school, and the school means from years past to the future. All the guys that wear a Brookline uniform, it's the same. And and as you know, Pat, the system hasn't changed. I could go back 18 years ago, and the guys that played for me then they could go through the same defenses as they can go through the same ones now.
Because Tuck pushes you to the limit, and he shows you how far you can go, farther than you really thought that you can go. And I think that draws people. You know, they love to come back to that of what he gives. They love to come back to it. And it's just good to go back and see those teams that are like your little brothers, you know. and give Brookline that support.
The other thing is, when we were young, we'd always hear about Coach Tuck, you know, and they, you know, it was, you didn't know what to expect, because it was kind of, he really was kind of a, I don't know, I don't want to, like a mythical figure kind of when you're young, like Coach Tuck, and then you get to play for him, and you see why, though, people look at their experience and look at experiences with him as so special, and people keep coming back.
I think that Lance created an ambiance amongst his teams that allowed for there to be a feeling of kinship. And so I'm people coming back class after class after class. It's like they're coming home. I mean, he gave folks a sense of belonging, gave them a sense of being valued. All of those things that inspire people to want to be where they are, you know? And you want to be where you feel comfortable. You want to be in a setting where you have been successful.
In high school basketball, anybody can have a great year. But how many people have had the type of years that Coach Tucker have had year after year after year?
I don't think there's many high school coaches in Massachusetts that you know, have had the success that he has.
I'm more proud of the fact that out of all the years at Brookline High, we've only failed to make the postseason tournament 1 year. And I think that is basically the measuring stick for high school athletics. Actually, for any basketball on any level, you want to make the postseason tournament. And once you make the postseason tournament, that is considered a successful season. And at Brookline, we've made it every year but one. So I think I am more proud of that than anything. And you know, the other, we've been to the semifinals I would say 6 years. We've been to the finals three times. So I mean, we've been knocking on the door, but I mean, every year we are definitely in the tournament, and that's basically what we measure our success by.
He has been a contender in the state champs every year. I mean, that is a huge success. Some people win the states 1 year and they're never a contender again. One hit wonder, but Tuck has been consistent. He has been a consistent winner.
First of all, he has a huge knowledge of the game. Really understands it from all aspects of the game. Because he's been there for a number of years, he's gotten a lot of experience in coaching, coaching really big games, coaching a number of personalities. And I think through the years, he's really realized how to put a whole team together to work towards one goal and to be really committed to his scheme of things. And he knows how to get the best out of players. I think that's one of his major assets, is that he knows how to get the most out of the most talented player to the least talented player. And he can get them all to really, you know, play as one.
He was able to bring them together and have a common goal, and got them to understand that no man is an island, no man stands alone.
That's certainly a special part of what, you know, he's done with the program, being able to coach all different kinds of kids and getting them to believe in the same things, you know, getting them to believe in team and getting them to strive, you know, to win, you know, but to more getting them to believe in what it takes to win and be successful.
Tuck has taught me how to teach discipline. And discipline is everything. You know, without discipline, you can't do anything. And to be able to teach somebody discipline, to have somebody teach you discipline, that really makes a difference in your life.
Discipline comes through hard work. You know, that it comes through being able to focus,
stupid. This is our game, fellas. We are disciplined. And damn it, we're not playing discipline. One thing I'm going to tell you. Win or lose, Brookline's always a disciplined basketball team. I am not going to allow that crap up there. Because we don't look like nothing. When we don't have a break, get the ball inside. How many fouls they got? 1, 2? Know why? Just for that reason, guys. I need some thinkers on the floor. And I shouldn't have to be ranting and raving and telling you what to do all the time. My job is over. I prepared you. Now it's up to you guys to do it. Shut them boys down. They feel it now just because of that. You know they got the momentum.
I try to leave no stone unturned in terms of a basketball practice, meaning, one, first of all, the players should be, and I should say they have to be, in good physical condition.
He basically instills on the court, you know, just run, be in shape, be ready for whatever comes your way, and that's the effort. And I think he always gives the kids confidence, which is very important. He might get on you 1 minute, but he's always going to praise you for something. And in the heat of the battle, it might be hard to take him sometimes. But during practice and just on the everyday to day, he is such an uplifting person. He has such a great spirit that it's going to rub off on his players.
My father always said, you know, practice is where you learn. Games should be fun. And we did a whole lot of learning in Coach Tucker's practice.
White off! Get out there. Come on! You play like you practice. What a stupid thing to do. Not gonna beat them that way. They're mentally tougher than you guys. You gotta play smart. Throw a bad pass and then go a stupid foul like that. How are we gonna win?
Basically, my practice is, you know, is hard work. We work hard. As you know, we don't sit down and practice. So for an hour and a half, you know, I think I try to keep the kids' attention by they have to stand up. If they're not participating, they're paying attention. And I try to incorporate drills that, one, are very competitive, and two, that keeps everybody involved.
I think overall, his practices were very, very, very intense, but he allowed us to have fun and be creative in our own mind.
Tuck is about hard work. And, you know, if I can say, the practice that I remember the most, and I probably tell this story too much, but we had a game, and I don't remember who we played, but we blew them out. And then we started to clown on them. Tuck was hot. So the next day in practice, we ran suicides the whole entire practice. I don't mean like 10 suicides. We didn't touch a ball.
We've had those over the years where we put the ball away, and sometimes, and I think it's good.
We lost the game towards the end of the season that we should have won, really should have won. And I can remember the next day coming into practice, and everybody's got basketballs in their hands. It's pre-practice, and we're shooting around. And Tuck walks in the gym, and he explodes. He says, why do you have basketballs? He goes, who took the basketballs out? Give me the basketballs. He puts every basketball back on the rack, takes the ball rack, locks it in his little closet, locks the door. There'll be no balls today in practice, is what he said. And you could see every kid's face just kind of go, oh.
You know how pickup games are in the park. And anybody that played at Brookline High School, when you're participating in a pickup game, it becomes more like a real game. You know, guys are talking to each other and they're working real hard. And I think that goes back to that practice. You know, it's like, even though I know we should be out here just having fun, you know, I think somewhere in the back of the mind say, yeah, remember that practice? And if you played varsity for 2 years, you had 2 of those practices. You remember? Oh, no, you know what? I'm taking this serious today, because that's what that did. He always managed. I mean, he gave us so much. And then it was like, you know, you're gonna need this for a rainy day. And he gave you that one more little extra thing, and that was that practice.
As you're coaching, you're trying to teach the young players, particularly and individually, how to win. And these things, them kind of moments where you practice without a ball, you're just running and you're doing mental things, you know, to have them focus and concentrate. Basically, you're trying to teach them what it takes to win, to go that extra step. Don't just go out there and assume you're going to win because you look like you're a better team, or because you're quicker, you're taller, you can run faster. That doesn't mean anything. So hopefully, you know, it's a learning thing. That it's learning, losing as well as winning should be learning processes.
I think everybody felt what he was telling us, that practice, and nobody had hard feelings towards him. I mean, everybody just had respect. Tuck would never do anything to hurt anybody, and everybody knew that. But that's what Tuck was about. He was about discipline, discipline, discipline. And I love that.
Another Lance Tucker saying, you know, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent.
I think practice for Coach Tucker was probably his finest moment. I mean, that's where you got to hear him. Everything was instilled. Everything went through. You know, they certainly weren't the most fun. I can tell you that. But I think for many of us, we understood, you know, the goal most of the time.
You get to the point where you took pride in working hard, and that's why we were successful.
One of Lance's favorite sayings, and he has so many of them, that the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Because to win games is defense. And you got to be able to go the distance with the type of defense Tuck likes to play.
Defense is hard work, so that means every player is equal once you get them on the court. And that's basically, I think, it should be a coaching tool. Every player is equal, because defense, every player can play defense, and it's hard work. Some do it better than others, but on a given time, whoever's working the hardest will get the job done.
So it was constant physical pressure, but also psychological pressure. And when they put the trap on, the other guard has to know what to do with that ball. If you play your defense right, you know what he doesn't want to do with the ball. And that's what you try to make him do.
You know, always the basis was defense. You know, everybody. I think coaches like to say defense wins games, but Tuck, you know, showed that and made you think that because you were practicing defense more than anything.
Everything he runs hinges off defense. Everything. Fast break, box out, his own traps. You know, everything. You know, offense hinges off of defense, and you know, he's preached that since I met him almost over 20 years ago.
We never can play enough defense. You know, you never can play enough defense, because today's student athletes grow up playing. You know, they grow up playing, and basically they grow up playing, shooting the ball, dribbling the ball, passing the ball, all the offensive fundamentals, you know. But like I said, defense is hard work, and so when you're just out there, you're not being pushed, you're not being motivated other than being a competitor. You're not really going to work on the defensive end as hard as you're going to work when a coach is there. So you can never teach enough defense.
Go, better, slide. Good job, Chris. Justin, work, go.
I will miss seeing Lance driving up to the school and hopping out the car and his smile, you know. I mean, the guy has a very infectious smile. I mean, you know, no matter what the circumstances may be, he greets you with a smile. And he has a way of brightening up your day.
His impact and influence, I mean, you know, so much of that stuff has carried over, you know, outside of basketball. You know, if I'm diligent and I work hard, and, you know, I can get what I want if I want it bad enough, and I'm willing to put in the time and effort to do it. Whether it's teaching, whether it's coaching, you know, my family, whatever. And he, you know, he's always been a straight shooter, and while it's sometimes tough to swallow what he's saying, I've always appreciated his honesty, his integrity, and his drive to motivate kids and push kids to be the best that they can be.
I've said it over the last 20 years, and I'm not done. You know, I still thank Tuck daily. I still think about Tuck, and I get teary-eyed. And to think of it being over, I mean, it's like your big brother going off to college, and then you're thinking, man, all the things I didn't take advantage of while he's here. And I want to rewind and go to more practices, take off a few more days of work, those days that I said, oh man, I can't take off today. You know, go to more games.
They look at him as a fatherly figure. I got guys just 30 years old, 35, you know, he's that fatherly figure type, in every sense of the word, actually. I mean, he's always looking out for people's best interests, especially the kids.
He thinks he's gotten rid of us just because he's going over to Emmanuel. But wait till we all go over there. And it's a Division III school, so in the beginning, and then it's a new program. In the beginning, the stands are going to be filled with old Brookline players. And that's all right, because we have to let him know that in this new venture, that we support him because of who he is, because of Lance Tucker, the man, not because he's the Brookline High School basketball coach.
He's had an effect on more people than he could ever imagine, I think. I mean, I think he's just had that kind of positive effect.
I mean, I just like to say thanks for being a positive influence on my life. Thanks for what you've given to Brookline and the Brookline basketball program. And I mean, you're the best. You're just the best. You're the best coach I've ever known.
Lance, thanks for everything. I mean, you are the best. And I've been around coaches, I've seen coaches, and I know the real thing when I see it. And again, I mean, for not only what you did for me, but for my two sons, you know, as well. You made them better people. And I appreciate it.
Tuck, you know, you're the best. And I when I say that, I would mean it. I mean that's, he's the best. He was the best coach.
But I get it firsthand. I'm like right there in the middle of the action. And I've been had it. So I've started early with it, and they just, you know, he's a joy to be around, basically.
I'll miss Brookline. You know, who wouldn't miss a wonderful school like Brookline High that has had so many successful teams and so many wonderful players. I'll miss every single player that I've ever coached. And, you know, and I think that every player I hope they would feel the same about me. But, you know, I hope that, you know, I left a positive impression with all them guys. And like I told my former team, it's not like I'm all done coaching. I'm still coaching, so I will always be your coach. But I'll just be in another setting come September. You're warriors, fellas. Always remember that. You wear that uniform to win.
Where's our mental toughness? Talk is cheap, I told you guys that. 23 is killing us. He is killing us. It's not their front court. Where's our mental toughness, fellas? What happened? throwing the ball all over the place. They're not playing any great defense. They want it more than you guys. You can't hear me out there. This is what it's all about. You can't hear nothing I'm saying. It's you guys got to win it. Point guards, look, they're taking us right out of the offense, and all you're doing is throwing up jump shots. Guards, you got to find a way. I told you, penetration and dish. Run zipper, get some movement. First option, get the ball inside. They're shutting us down, and our guards are firing jump shots. Fist out of trouble. I can't run, I can't play the game for you. You guys got to do it out there. We're down 20-something points. It's embarrassing. Now, who's going to shut this Lions down? You didn't have them the first half. Got to fine-tune in transition. Hey, the refs aren't giving us anything, but hey, when teams outwork you, they're gonna get the breaks, and that's basically what's going on here. We're being outplayed and out-hustled. Now we got to dig down and get back in this ball game. Everything is to the basket. Go by these guys. Now handle the double team, step through the double team, and find the open man. Don't throw cross-court passes. Guys, help your teammates out, meet the passes. What did I talk about? When we go 4-5, they are triple teaming. Weak side, wing, flash to the open area. I can only tell you what to do. You guys got to do it. They're shutting us down, guys. When they play great deny defense, you have to take them off the dribble. Okay, there's nothing I can put on that board. They are just outworking you. I told you it's gonna be a war. Yeah, it was a fluke, and maybe it was a fluke. But we got 16 minutes to get back in this ball game. Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Guys, I'm telling you, I don't even know basketball. I know people, and there's nothing that Newton North wants more than to have this game be over right now, because they play very well. And I'm telling you, and on everything that I love, if you look those guys in the eye, they don't believe they're doing to you what they have been doing. And if you guys rock out the scoreboard and go out there and do the things that you were taught to do by your coaching staff and play up to your capabilities, I promise you will win this game. I've seen it too many times by all the Brookline teams before you. The score is irrelevant. You know, do the little things, stepping up, taking a charge, talking, helping each other out. You have to believe. I'm telling you, you can look at those kids and tell. And that's no halftime speech. That's fact. That's fact. You guys are the better team. But anybody can beat anybody on a given day. That's why it's so much fun. But you have to believe in yourselves and the things that you were taught, and what you want will be yours. That's it.
Gamere, and the lane, his shot is good by Patrick Gamere.
Patrick Gamere gets on the board.
Number one thing that you remember about Coach Tucker, five. Good!
Die, 5, good!
First and foremost, you gotta believe. You don't want it. You gotta really want it.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about this.
So who's doing makeup?
For the camera, he has never beat me one-on-one. Never.